They say life on the farm is hard but honest work. But in Common Ground World, we farm for a greater cause, saving the planet one soil patch at a time. Build an eco-friendly town, leveraging regenerative agriculture and recover valuable soil. Compete in weekly competitions to earn great prizes. Get rewarded for helping to support our ecosystem and your fellow farmers. Eager to learn more? Well, head on over to Gala Games and start playing now.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Farmer Michelle. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Good morning to everybody listening. Thanks for tuning in. This is our town hall, which we've been doing for about 2 years now. And we get in here and we give you updates on the game. We answer questions that you filled out from the forum throughout the week, and we answer live questions on Discord. If you are on YouTube right now and you're listening, be sure to like and subscribe. You can ask us questions there. Turn on notifications so that you know when we go live. I don't have to ask when's the next one. So with that said, today we're going to be covering game updates, of course, the upcoming meta and the sale. But first, let's say hi to all of our friends here in Discord. Let's see who we got. Grok this with animated images. Edie Lugs, Architect from TSM. Haven't seen you around. O-Town, Drew PH, Will Bake, Bazinga, Gangbuster. There's a lot of people. Haven't seen Nacho G yet this morning.
Hey Shadow. No, I'm sure he'll be in though.
All kinds of folks. Well, good morning. I hope you have a great Friday and you enjoy our update here. So let's see. I'm going to share in the Discord link right now. If you have any questions that you think about after this or during this and you want them answered ahead of time, there's the link. It's a forum, and we meet on Thursdays as a team to talk about all those questions and fill them out. Get ready to answer them live the next day, which is today. Good morning. All right. Headlines, Farmer Michelle. Any updates on rewards?
Yeah, this week we sent out rewards for last week's event, which was the candlesticks event. No, that's this week. Hold on, let me scroll back up to the right part of the page here. I'm always lost in this document. The Starlight Market Box, that was a guild event, was last week. We sent those out earlier this week. That reward document with the leaderboard has been updated. That's right in the FAQs. Let me share it in here for you guys as well, in case you don't know where in the FAQs it is. The way it's sorted this week is it has like a whole list of individuals so that everybody can see where they ranked individually, and then it also has a separate column for guilds so you can see which guilds placed where. There isn't any list of like who is in what guilds. If that is something you're interested in, we can do that. It's just going to take a bit more time, so let me know. I can do that. But those rewards went out earlier this week, and the rewards from this week should be out today or Monday, depending on when they get around to sending them out. And that's for the candlesticks. That was this week.
Oh, and as a side note, the person that does those is Riant, and he's not in the AMA today because he's traveling. He's doing some gala meetings very far from his home, around the planet, actually. So, so normally he'll be in here in a couple weeks, so he won't be in here today. So how about the retention NFTs? Any update on that?
Oh, yeah. So this week we also sent out the wax storages for the month of May. So everybody should have those. If you're missing some and you think that you should have gotten them but didn't, definitely reach out to customer support. If you need help filling out a ticket, let me know and I will show you how to do that. The ones for the month of June will be cheese storage. And those will have the same requirements as normal. So the common one you can get if you play 10 days and sell or trade at least 25 times. The uncommon one is for node owners who run their node for 6 hours a day for at least 10 days. And the rare one is for people who play on 25 days in the course of the month and make 75 total trades at least. So that's how you get those. And again, those will be cheese storages for the month of June. I've seen the art and it's fantastic. So you're going to want these cheese storages.
Yeah, I love our art team, man. Seeing the previews and the iterations and the final product, it's so cool. Hey, question from Michelle about those rewards. Players sometimes new to the game or whatever, they might think the only way they can earn NFTs is through the challenges or the competitions. But it sounds like what you're saying is that there are also the retention rewards. And I just wanted to kind of double underscore that one for everybody listening. Like, there are ways to get those NFTs besides being the best of the best, right?
Oh, yeah. You don't even have to play in the competitions. You don't have to play in the events if you don't want to. You can just play in the casual mode and just, play for 10 days throughout the course of the month, log in, make a couple trades. As long as you've made 25 total sales throughout the entire month and played at least 10 days, then you're good to go. It doesn't count fast forward days, so you can't log in one day and then log in 10 days later and be like, oh, I played 10 days. You have to actually log in on 10 different days. So keep that in mind. But so it's an easy way to get free NFTs every month.
Yeah, and I definitely get some that way. So thank you. That's awesome. Well, on the game updates, I hope everybody's enjoying guilds. Farmer Michelle shared some of the art that some of the guilds are doing, the recruitment art. That's really cool. And that feature, of course, we're getting feedback and we're addressing bugs that we find. But overall, we're happy with it. Later this year, there will be a Guilds V2 as we push out more features for that. Next in progress, as promised, we are well underway with our daily challenges or, points distribution, as everybody can see and hopefully is excited about because we turned this off about 2 years ago, right? And I'll give you a little update on what that'll be. But super cool, relatively straightforward feature. If you're a player of the game from before, the Play Canvas version, it's going to look super familiar. You're going to have the little thing on the right. We'll probably change the icon based on the items that you're supposed to be selling. Give you a little progress meter and then go to that. And then you can do a claim and you're done. Once a day. Some days will probably be hard. Some days will be easy. And we'll tell you in the game why certain NFTs got you points or did not. Now, the cool thing, if you haven't been listening, the cool thing about this is using the guilds feature, you can borrow an earning NFT out of your guild library and apply that to your town, claim your points, and you and the owner of that NFT are going to get points for that day. Which is really cool because it's an off-chain operation. You're not taking it out of their wallet or any of that. Pure game data, no ownership transfer, no transfer codes or any of that. Purely game data. So thanks to our backend drives that made that possible. That's going to be super cool. If you go to the Gala website right now and you go to your inventory and you look at balances and you say show even zero balances, for example, you'll see dirt is already up there. And dirt is what you're going to earn nightly if you do the daily challenges when this goes live. Now there's this whole sequence of things that you'll be able to do with it. You can check our white paper for more info. It is evolving, of course. Like we want to make this as fun and useful as possible. So the dirt distribution, that's well underway. That's, as you can imagine, it's all back-end stuff, but we want it to be rock solid, all sorts of transactions and locking and logging and customer support and all that, because this will be paving our way. This technology is the seed from which the NFT upgrade path will grow later this year. We're also doing, of course, our live ops and our runtime data definitions. Like any good game team, we don't just hard code our values in the source code. We're able to push live data out to the product. And that takes a bit of work, but that's pretty much well underway. That's, if you know Wild Moopsy, if you listen to that, he's the guy that controls that sort of thing. So thank you, Wild Moopsy, for setting up our live data this week and last week as well. And then on the UI side of things, of course, you're going to be picking the challenges. We have some art wireframes and some guidance on that, but I'm going to wait to share those screens until we have it at least in our test servers locally for QA. And that will be for selecting the challenges so you can see which ones you've already completed or which ones are coming up. They'll be right there on the events page, just like before. And that will be a pretty seamless interface. And last part I'll say that is underway currently for daily challenges is all of our backend stuff, such as the reports, the security. There are a couple known ways that you guys are maybe not playing entirely fairly. So that'll be stopped pretty soon. And please don't mess around with your accounts, guys. Like, I just want to say, if you know you're doing something that's tricky, you might end up not being able to play the game. So don't do that. Okay. We don't want to make an example of anybody. So, all right. That ominous warning out of the way. Let's move on to our Q&A. What is our first question here?
Let me see here. The first question says, is there any update for mobile user, and will there be a Common Ground World mobile application in the future?
Yeah, that's interesting. Mobile in 2023 and 2022 is a big push for Gala. We don't have on our team, and I don't mind sharing this detail, but we don't have dedicated iOS and Android devs on our team right now because everything is about the gameplay, the web version, and all of our backend services. So we made a big push to make sure that the game runs on as many browsers as possible on mobile devices. And then, later this year, we're going to be looking at pushing it out to iOS and Android as true native apps, which is pretty exciting. We have done the Android proof of concept. So next question's for Farmer Michelle. It's about the pizza base. They're wondering if, hold on, let me read this. It already requires 2 cheeses. If 2 plus 2 equals 4, and this was the requirement already, what's the rationale behind a 4-cheese pizza now needing 2 plus 4? Why does a 4-cheese pizza need 6 cheese?
Well, the 4 cheese at the end there are the cheese that is on top, whereas the other cheese are just in the crust. It's just a stuffed crust pizza. It's still a 4-cheese pizza because there's 4 cheese on top. I don't know. Everybody picked apart my words on that announcement. I was just trying to be funny and lighthearted. It's a 4-cheese pizza, guys.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's see. Next question. When will Dirt be listed on GalaSwap? Yeah. And what will the main utility be? Probably won't be on GalaSwap because GalaSwap is for actual on-chain currency, and Dirt is an off-chain currency. It's soft currency, if you want to call it that. Soil will be. So if you look at our white paper, you'll see the way that Dirt and Soil are related. So yeah, Soil will be on GalaSwap, Dirt will not. Next one is, hey, Farmer Michelle, what will be the May Mayhem Zeely reward for May from May Mayhem during May?
The ones for May were the Epic Sandcastle. They should be sent out now. And I believe we're going to have an announcement about Zeely coming out soon. I believe that we are stopping Zeely rewards. So I will get all of that full information and let you guys know. There should be an announcement coming out soon.
Alrighty. Excuse me. Next one is about, is the game going toward a guild/team approach? I work and I don't have the time to play a lot. So I was shocked when I went to play this week and found out I had to be in a guild. Will you post a guild schedule so that I know when you plan to have these events? Also, can you have both guild and solo events in the same week?
We definitely can't have guild rewards and solo rewards in the same week. The rewards will either be guild structure or solo structure. Not every event will require you to be in a guild, but it is good to be in a guild every week because you get all of the added benefits from, being in a guild, like renting NFTs and having a dedicated team of people to help you if you want help, people that you can work with, that you know well, that you trust. There's also, as we get, further into guilds, there'll be all the other features that come with that as well, like with bots and stuff. So you're going to want to be in a guild regardless of whether or not the event is solo or guild ranked for rewards. We don't know the exact set cadence yet for when the next guild rewards will be. I think it depends on if we're going to put out some new features or make some changes or do some updates first. But once we do know, you guys will be the first to know after we do. So.
All right. Let's see. There were a lot of questions about the auto sell UI. I don't know if it was the same guy, but we hear you. Like, we know it's it's annoying, right? Things disappear off of it. The order changes. It needs fixed. We know that. But we have to address all of our other promises first. And like we did guilds, and now we're doing the daily challenges, do upgradable NFTs. There's some things that, we want to do quality of life improvements and all that. And when we're doing our sprint planning every couple of weeks, it does sting to look at all these things that we know would make the game quality of life better, but we have to fulfill these promises. So you guys know that we're serious when we make those. So we will get to it. I promise you guys. There you go. There's another promise. We will get to it. All right. When's daily earnings? It's in progress now. Probably less than 12 weeks, I would say. Next one's for Farmer Michelle. I think Jimmy is the best feature for guild competitions, but it was mentioned before by Farmer Michelle that Jimmy was abused in the past. No way. So my question is, are you going to bring back Jimmy with a set of rules and safeguards to prevent abuse? Or are you considering a different option so that the guild members can still share resources to make it guild competitions and to make it more fun? What do you think? Bring back Jimmy?
There were a lot of exploits that happened when Jimmy was around. It'd be hard to not have those happen without like a KYC for a game account, which would be awesome, but is a whole other step in the process that I don't know that we really want to go through just for a game. We could definitely look into different ways to include something like Jimmy that is like a neighbor delivery, even if it is still Jimmy the character, but that somehow prevented people from exploiting it, or make a different way that people could share resources among towns. Again, all of that's going to be hard without KYC because multi-accounting will be a big deal when people can share resources among towns. And that is something that we have to worry about and think about before letting a feature like that go live. So it would definitely take some time and some planning.
And for people who aren't
not to say that it's not possible.
Space, yeah, totally possible. Would you mind explaining a little bit, like what would be KYC? Like, what's the definition of that, and what's an example of how KYC would, if I wanted to make a game for Gala that had KYC, how would that? What's that even mean for our listeners that don't know?
KYC, for anyone who doesn't know, stands for Know Your Customer, and that's it would make it so that every account was like linked individually to a specific person, and that person couldn't have another one because it was like linked to your ID or your driver license or something, so that you were not able to make more than one game account. And that's how a lot of that stuff is managed, so that people can't have more than one wallet or account.
Nice. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. Next question is also for Farmer Michelle. Does anybody on the team, well, that's kind of a snappy way to say, does anybody on the team know the definition of solo? Okay.
No.
Guys. So solo competitions mean by yourself with your own NFTs. Why are you making a solo competition where it's not allowed to use the guild NFT? Okay. They're asking basically, why are we having this whole guilds thing? The competitions should be solo. What do you think about that, Farmer Michelle?
Well, I mean, we've been promising NFT rentals, since day one, basically. So it's always been in the plans to allow people who own multiple of NFTs and aren't using them to let other people use them without having to like sell them or trade them or transfer through wallets. So this is just a way for, one person who owns a bunch of NFTs to start their own team of people and maybe get their friends into the game and say, I already own these NFTs. Would you like to try this game? You can use my NFTs and I don't have to send them to you. It's a safe way to do that. You don't have to worry about the risk of sending somebody an NFT and them not sending it back. You don't have to worry about having them pay you to use the NFT because it's all right there in the game now. So you can just put them in your library and people can just loan them. You can pull them back whenever you want. It's way less risk. And it encourages, team play. It encourages people to help each other out when there is a guild event, because then your final ranking relies on how your friends do. So it'll encourage everyone to help each other within that team do the best that they can do. So it should be good for the whole community as a whole, people helping each other and everybody doing their best and working together.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Next one's also for you. Will future guild competitions be structured the same way? The reward structure has higher ranking players. I don't know. This is an interesting generalization. I don't know if this is true for everybody. You guys tell us in comments. He says the reward structure has higher ranking players upset that they don't make enough and lower ranking players feeling guilty for not being better. So question around that is, will the future guild competitions be structured the same way?
I don't know that they'll be structured the exact same way. There's a solid chance that we'll iterate on it a few times before coming to like a final decision on the way to structure the rewards. I mean, it will always be with guilds that some players earn less than they would in solo and some will earn more than they did in solo, because it's, a group of 20 getting the average score of what those 20 ranks would be. So all 20 people in guild number 1 aren't going to earn the same rewards as first place would get in a solo competition, because we have the same amount of gala to give out, not more gala for guild events. So it has to be structured differently. Like logically,
Okay.
Those 20 people in guild 1 have to make the average reward for those ranks in solo.
Alrighty, sounds good. Next one's for you. How many times per month will there be a guild-only competition?
We don't have a set cadence yet, like I said a couple questions ago. Once we do, we'll definitely let you know. I think it depends on when we get the version 2 of guilds out and what other features go live, and then when we want to try it again with a new reward structure and see how it goes. So we don't have a set plan yet, but as soon as we do, we'll let you know.
Cool. And how about this month? What will be this month's Zealy reward?
For the month of June, I'm pretty sure that Zealy is not going to have any rewards anymore. And we will get that announcement out as soon as we are settled on what that's going to be.
Alrighty. Let's see. Oh, production monitor UI question. When will UI update happen for the production monitor? Well, same thing for other quality of life stuff. Like I just answered Billy TSM in chat. Things like, sometimes it's cumbersome to click the buildings because the unit's in the way. Production monitor UI, auto cell UI, all these things kind of fall into that quality of life bucket. Has to come after promises. Alrighty, next question. Oh, same thing. Player asking like, hey, quality of life stuff, why don't you allocate some resources and fix these smaller problems? And then they give some examples. I'm addressing it again because I want you to know we do read your questions, but same thing, after our promises. If there's a dev who happens to be working late, or he plays it himself or she plays it herself and really wants to fix that after hours or something, they can, but right now we are laser focused on our promises. Let's see. Next one is about guild competition. They say, this is not fun when the 20 of the top 40, they all band together to get all the rewards. I won't participate if it's run this way. Well, I'll just reiterate what Michelle said earlier. this isn't the final guild forever layout and reward structure. Like, we're constantly looking at what makes the most sense for everybody and is the most fun. So let's see. Next question is a three-parter. First one is, this is about guild competitions. Please institute a guild leaderboard before doing the next guild competition. Yeah, we actually, when we were talking about guilds, we did have that. And there was even some debate about, well, what do you do with the points if somebody has accumulated points for the guild, but then they leave the guild? Do they take the points? Does it stay with the guild? It raises a lot of questions. We decided not to build that in right now, but in the future we probably will. Next guild comp question is for Farmer Michelle. Before the next comp, the ability needs to be in place so I can put my personal guild on pause so that I can join a competition guild. I want to toggle between guilds and have a whole list, wow. Okay. What do you think about that, Farmer Michelle?
The answer to that is no. You will not be able to be in more than one guild at a time. You can be on one team. If you choose to leave your personal guild and join someone else's guild and leave your whole team behind at the start of events, that's up to you entirely. Remember, there's a 24-hour cooldown after leaving a guild to joining a new guild. There is always potential that we might lock guilds once events start so that people can't leave or enter them anymore. So that is still on the radar. But no, you can't. We're not going to have more than one different guilds. It's only going to be one guild. That would just cause way too much confusion for other people who didn't want to leave their guild, and all of a sudden half of their guild leaves them and they didn't realize what was happening, and then they get kind of ranked lower in the event because half of their guild was in a different guild playing. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. Let's see. Feedback on the 24-hour cooldown. This player says it makes sense during competition, but not when people are trying to put together teams. Change the cooldown to be only during. I don't think so. I mean, I definitely, we always read this feedback, but there's consequences to everything. So, you implement just one gameplay rule, and suddenly it opens up a whole new can of worms. The more simple, the better. So we're not going to do that. Another request for fixing autosell. Addressed that earlier. And then we got a really involved question. And this is 500 words or something. This is thank you for all the detail. I won't read the whole thing, but it boils down to, for Farmer Michelle, when will cold proximity have more presence in the game?
There's definitely plans to use cold more. Probably this summer. We definitely have plans for ice cream and stuff coming up relatively soon. So there will be colds. I know we had previously talked about having a cold edge. There's a desert edge and a forest edge and a river edge and an ocean edge. I'm not sure where that is on the timeline. We do have all these other things we've got to get done first, and that's quite a big project to add a whole new edge and biome to the game. It would definitely be awesome to have a cold biome and cold edges and stuff, but we don't have the time to do that currently. But I'm sure that it will come eventually. I do not have a time estimate for any of that, but cold, in terms of using it to make different crafts, will be coming relatively soon.
Okay. Here's an interesting one. This player is requesting an auto sell template or a list that applies. Let's say I'm playing a town, competition ends. Next town that I start, the auto sell comes straight in from my old town. What do you think about that, Farmer Michelle, about having a auto sell, auto apply to new towns?
Well, I mean, we had a lot of weird quirks with it when we were on Plague Events and people were using auto sell, and even with, I think, the first iteration we had of it there, where it would pull what you had set for auto sell at the end of the last event. So if you didn't alter your auto sell list before the end of the last event, it would just bring the same one up. So a lot of people were like accidentally selling gasoline right at the start of a competition, and that caused a lot of headaches for a lot of people. So we wouldn't be able to do it that same way. Yeah, where it like re-pulled in your list again. I definitely think that the solution to the whole thing would just be to be able to set up your auto sell list, not necessarily based on what crafts you've already made and you have in your inventory, but the whole list of crafts. That would probably resolve the problem. I don't think we need like a pre-built sell list that you can template out according to your account and pick and choose which ones you want. That's probably going a little bit too far. But when we get the auto sell list fixed so that you can choose things that are not currently in your inventory, that'll resolve that whole issue.
Yeah, there's always consequences to different things, and then you have your whole auto sell management UI. Like, it's yeah, I don't know. Oh, whoops! The auto sell from my casual town came into my event town. Like, well,
right?
Okay, not the heart pounding gameplay that we're hoping for. So, last pre-planned question is from for Farmer Michelle, not from. Do we have the expected meta for the next 3 weeks of competitions yet?
Yeah, I think last week I gave a little bit of information. I let you know that there was going to be 2 new crafts and 1 new building and a new unit. That is all still true. So we know that next week is the 4-cheese pizza, or the 6-cheese pizza, if that's what you want to call it. Be my guest. It's a 4-cheese pizza. It's just stuffed crust. After that, we're having a new craft. That craft is called marine ravioli. That's all I'm going to tell you so far, but that's more than you knew before. So that's a good leak. And after that, we've got kimchi, and that should be fun. That's the one that'll also have a new building. After that, I think we're going right back to the Starlight Market Box, but it will have different ingredients than the first Starlight Market Box. So if you have suggestions for what you'd like to see in the Starlight Market Box for July 2nd event, let me know.
Cool. Okay. Well, moving on to the live Q&A. Our first one's from Bazinga. And this is a feature request bit. He says, "Mini a test server with unlimited cache." I think that's a great idea. We talked about it before, not just unlimited cache, but I think for new players especially, or even people who are considering buying NFTs that have been out for a while, a test server that has access to trial NFTs would be really cool. Say, hey, this week's 10 NFTs you could try out for free on the test server or blah. I think that would be awesome, really fun. Maybe even do something ahead of the meta to let people know. I don't know. Wild Moopsie and Riant are the ones that are discussing that right now. I'm just the guy with the little propeller hat on, and I just do all the engineering nerd stuff. Question from, and I don't quite get it. This is from Edie Lugs. He says, why do we call the team competitions guilds? We already had guilds. This just leads to confusion. I don't, sorry, man, I don't, can you rephrase that? Next one's from Dash Riprock. Why not just call it cheese pizza? I don't know.
Maybe we'll change the name to cheese pizza.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's about the quantity of cheese. I see. Moise. Okay. Got it, guys. Great. CT, I hate pizza. What? Okay, here's one.
I don't know how anyone can hate pizza. There's so many different types of pizza. You can have any kind of pizza. You could have taco pizza. You could have Hawaiian pizza. You could have like a burger pizza. You can do anything you want with the pizza.
Yeah. I'd do a cheese-free pizza with like a cashew pesto sauce instead.
Oh, yeah. That sounds delicious.
We're going to banter for just another minute or so, guys, before we move on to the meta. We're always available here. If you want to DM us, do you want to ask in the channel, whatever, go for it. This is your chance to hear our voices live, but of course we're available to answer your questions via typing on our very quiet keyboards at you. So whenever you're ready, send those in. Where do we send the recommendations for the Starlight Box? Oh, I don't know. What would you recommend
When or
for the
where?
Starlight?
Yeah, just tag me in chat.
Just where? Drew PH, I want to buy pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin. Oh boy. All right. Well, you guys are devolving into silliness. Okay. Meta/event. Farmer Michelle, are you ready to share this top secret info with the players?
For this week's event.
Yep.
I don't think anything is top secret.
That's right.
The event this week is a 4-cheese pizza, which we've already talked about multiple times here. The biome is desert south. The edges are ocean to the north, river to the east, desert to the south, and river to the north. There's an image right in the announcement. Let me share the link to that announcement in case you missed it. Copy and paste. There it is right there. So there's a full image of what the town looks like right there. It's an 80-second trade time. Still just 1 gasoline this week. The cash boosts this week are white rice and rice vinegar. So you can slowly build your way up into making the cheesiest of cheesy pizzas with all of the cheese. It's standard rewards this week. So it's just a regular event reward structure. Solo event, remember, not a guild event, but still encouraged to be in a guild. Always best to be a part of a team. And that is all I have for the meta information.
Nice. I'll share my my town next week as well. The one I did this week for ceramic bowls and candlesticks got a good laugh from people. They're like, "No, really, share your actual town, Volcra." That was it. How about the sale? What is coming up for a sale?
Oh, yes, I see people asking questions about the sale now because they must know it's time to talk about the sale. So tomorrow there is one NFT for sale. It's the Sauce Facility. It's an epic NFT. It does require a road. It does not cast any shade or any dirty. Its wages are going to be $350. It does have 2 units. They walk 2.5 times with 2.5 times faster, not 2.5 times faster. That sounds funny. So they walk 2.5 times faster than the standard Sauce Facility worker. It does have a 30% reduced craft time for itself, and globally it will cause all of the other Sauce Facilities to also have a 30% reduced craft time when it's placed. It doesn't stack, so you can't place 2 of them down for a 60% global reduced craft speed. And again, that is an actual Sauce Facility also, so it does make everything that a Sauce Facility makes. That is going to be $249.99 or so. And there will be 400 of them in the store. That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. There is one other sale next week for everybody asking about what other sales are coming. I know it's been May Mayhem, so we've had like 4 sales a week. There's not that many this week, but we do have one coming up on Tuesday, right after the start of the event. That is going to be the Small Salt Field, which is a rare NFT. It's the same as like an in-game salt field, so it makes salt brine at the same craft time as a regular in-game salt field. There's no extra boosts or anything, but it is smaller in size. So where a normal tile is like a 4x4 tile inside the game, this one is going to be 3x3, so it's going to be a little bit smaller than a standard in-game tile. And it'll make salt brine, just like the regular salt field does. There's going to be 2,000 of those in the store, and they're going to be $99.
So let me ask a question there. I'm going to back up, acting like I haven't seen the screenshots, but just for our listeners, the size is a little 3x3. Does that mean it's smaller than the normal buildings?
Yes.
This NFT? Huh. Interesting. So I'll be really curious to see how people play with that. For anybody who missed it, that means you're going to be able to fit more of these on a row or column in your town than you would a normal sized building. So they'll be 3 times bigger than a little decoration, for example, but they'll be 1 subtile smaller than regular buildings. So, nice. That is cool.
Yeah, as soon as I get an image from one from QA like placed in game, I'll make sure I share it to you guys. I just have to go looking for one and I'll find one for you. It's been a busy week since I was traveling, but I will get that for you as soon as I find one.
Nice. Thank you. Let's see. Any last minute live questions? I'm searching for 3x3 to share with everybody.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it as well. Well, Grok this has some nice animated images. Moise has a question from Michelle. Starlight Box, Pumpkin Pie, Box of Ice. Okay. And thank you, Hey Now from Dub, for the sweet message. That's really nice to hear, man. Sometimes it's really good to hear positive feedback from people. And I think actually most of our players are pretty awesome. Like, I really love coming in here and chatting with you guys. So it is fun. Red Fox 78, can we add hotkeys for quick remove of items or quick purchase? For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Things as simple as like hold control when you click on something, when you click on delete on something, so you don't have to go through the confirm or things like that. Yeah. It's in the plans. Yeah, I honestly cannot wait until we get into starting to do those quality of life improvements and upgrades for the games. It's going to be so awesome once we get through these features and start working on those types of things as well. I'm very excited for that.
Mm-hmm. I think No Free at Lunch is laughing at our noisy mice. All right. Well, as the kind of a reminder here, guys, fill out that form every week if you want questions answered ahead of time, and then ask us live if you want them answered real time. So I hope everybody had an awesome Friday. Love chatting with y'all. Farmer Michelle, thank you for being here. And
thank you.
You guys have a wonderful weekend. We will see you next time.
Yes, happy Friday.